Hey there, and welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're going to talk about something really powerful, but also surprisingly simple. It's a framework for finding purpose, that joy in your everyday life, and it's called IKIGAI.
All right, I'm going to start with a big question, and I mean a really big one. What is your reason for being? Seriously, what gets you out of bed in the morning? And I'm not talking about your alarm clock or that first cup of coffee. What's your real, genuine reason for getting up and facing the day?
Yeah, that's a heavy question, right? It can feel, well, kind of overwhelming to even think about. But what if I told you there's a kind of map for it? Turns out, in Japanese culture, they have this incredible word, this whole concept, designed to help you figure that exact thing out.
And that word is Ikigai. Now, this isn't some mystical, unobtainable secret or anything like that. The best way to think of it is like a framework, or maybe a Venn diagram for your life. It's all about finding that sweet spot, that intersection of four key things: what you love, what you're good at, what the world needs, and, what you can get paid for. So let's break down exactly how these four pieces fit together.
So, to really get Ikigai, we have to look at these four essential elements. I want you to picture them as four big, overlapping circles. Or, maybe like four pieces of a giant puzzle. And the first step is just getting to know each piece on its own.
Okay, first up, the first piece of our puzzle. This one is probably the most intuitive. It's simply, what do you love? And we're talking about the stuff that brings you real, genuine joy. Things you do with no obligation, no expectation from anyone else. So how do you figure this out? Well, ask yourself a few things. Like, what activities make you totally lose track of time? You look up and hours have gone by. Or think back, what did you absolutely love doing as a kid, before you had to worry about being productive? And what topics do you find yourself just reading about for fun? That's the heart of this first circle right there.
All right, moving on to the second circle. This one is, what are you good at? And hey, this isn't just about stuff you have a degree in. It covers everything, the skills you've worked hard to develop, and those talents that just seem to come naturally to you.
Just think about it for a second. What skills have you actually put in the hours to get good at? And maybe even more telling, what do your friends and family always ask for your help with? Maybe you're the one who's amazing at calming people down, or you're just a genius at organizing travel plans. All of that stuff counts. It's all part of your unique skill set.
Okay, for our third piece of the puzzle, we're going to shift our focus a little bit outward. The question here is, what does the world need? This is all about connecting your personal talents to the bigger picture, to your community and beyond.
Now, this doesn't have to be some huge, intimidating thing like solving world hunger. I mean, it could be, which is awesome, but it could also be something super local, like seeing a need for a community garden in your neighborhood. Or maybe you see a broader need, like better financial education for young people. What's a problem, big or small, that you see and just feel this pull to do something about?
And that brings us to our fourth and final circle. And this one, well, it brings us right back down to earth. It's the practical one. What can you be paid for? This is about being real and understanding the value of your skills and passions out there in the world. Yeah, this part forces us to get realistic. What do you do? What skills do you have that someone else is actually willing to pay for? What kind of value can you provide that could give you a sustainable living? This is the element that really grounds the whole idea in, real life. Okay, so we've got our four circles: what you love, what you're good at, what the world needs, and what you can be paid for. But here's the thing, the real magic of Ikigai, the core of the whole idea, isn't in the circles themselves. It's where they start to overlap. And this is where it gets really interesting, because these overlaps, they create some very specific and familiar feelings in our lives. So first up, when the things you love overlap with the things you're good at, boom, that's your passion. And this feels amazing, right? Think of a crazy talented musician who just plays for themselves, or a brilliant baker who only ever makes cakes for their friends. It's super joyful, but it might not pay the bills. You can feel really fulfilled, but also, well, maybe a little broke. Okay? What about when you combine what you love with what the world needs? Well, that's your mission. This is where you find dedicated volunteers, passionate activists. It feels so important. But if you don't have the skills to be really effective, or you can't support yourself doing it, you're looking at a fast track to burnout. It can feel like you're just spinning your wheels. Now let's look at another overlap. When what the world needs meets what you can be paid for, you've got a vocation. And look, this is often a good thing. It's stable, it's useful. But if you don't actually enjoy it, or you don't feel like you're particularly good at it, it can lead to that feeling of self-doubt. Like you're an imposter, just going through the motions every day.
And finally, let's talk about the overlap between what you're good at and what you can be paid for. This is your profession. And honestly, a lot of people live right here. You're competent, you get paid, life is comfortable. But without that connection to what you love, or a sense that you're contributing to something the world needs, it can start to feel a little hollow, like something really important is missing.
So you can see, right? Living in any of these two circle overlaps, it can feel incomplete. They're close, but it's not quite the whole picture. So the million-dollar question is, what happens when you find that sweet spot? That magical place where all four of these powerful forces finally come together?
And that question brings us right to the heart of it all, to the center of the diagram, where all the puzzle pieces finally click into place.
So when you have all four of these essential elements, your passion, your mission, your vocation, and your profession, when they all meet in the middle,
that is your IKIGAI. See, it's not just a job, it's not just a hobby, it's this incredible feeling of alignment. It's when your life just feels balanced, deeply meaningful, and 100% yours.
But here's a really important thing to remember. Finding your IKIGAI, it's not like this one-time thing you just check off your to-do list. Not at all. It's a journey. It's a process of constant discovery and making little adjustments along the way. It's all about living intentionally.
So how do you even start this journey? Well, the most important thing is to start small. Don't try to figure it all out overnight. That's just overwhelming. Instead, try to find more of those activities that get you into that flow state. Connect with people, with your community, and maybe most importantly, just make a habit of checking in with yourself on these 4 circles every once in a while. Your answers are going to change over time, and that's not just okay, that's kind of the whole point.
because your IKIGAI isn't some static thing you find and then you're done. It grows and evolves right along with you. So the real question isn't this giant, scary, what is my purpose for the rest of my life? No, it's much simpler. It's just, what does my IKIGAI look like right now, today?